Hello and welcome everybody to another edition of Automate Office Work. I am your host, Justin Turman. I am a techie lawyer who was a corporate lawyer for 10 years. And before that, I studied computers. So as a lawyer, I just started automating everything. And now I'm here to help you on your journey. All right. You can find me on my website at automateofficework.com. If you go to automateofficework.com, you can read a little bit about me, my biography, and you can see my services. We have a weekly newsletter that you can sign up to receive. And we also have the list of all of our podcast episodes there, which you can find here on LinkedIn Live every Friday at 4 p.m. Amsterdam time, which is where I am, which is usually 10 a.m. Eastern Time US. So you can find us live. Come on, join the chat room, and you can submit your comments live, and I'll answer your questions on the air. After about 20 minutes of speaking, I will also open it up and invite anyone in the audience to come on and join me to have a discussion. If you would like to discuss your situation or share anything that you would like to about automation. You can also find these episodes on YouTube and on Apple Podcasts as an audio only podcast. So I will also try to make this content enjoyable in audio format only. There are some things that you might like to come see. So come on over to the LinkedIn or the YouTube versions. Okay. Below my podcasts list on my website, I also have a lot of articles that are just really good content. If you are looking to automate your work, you might be in the same place I was. I looked around, there wasn't very much content. There was no podcast like this. So I decided to create it for you guys. All right, today's episode is a continuation of last week's. Last week's, we started talking about templates, how you take your Word documents and arrange them, structure them to make them more friendly for not only for people to fill out, but also for machines to extract the information. And we also went through how Word documents actually work, how they are actually zip files, and how you can manipulate them in a programmatic kind of a way. And so today we're going to continue on our journey. I do have an article. It's at automateofficework.com/templates. And it goes down like the 5 different steps that you need to do to get your templates in order to start automating with them. All right. Last time we did part 3. Today we are going to be talking about part 1 and part 4. So these parts are an internal template library for your department. And then the part 4 in this article is how do you share that with the people outside of your department, the people who need to be able to get access to those templates and to be able to work with them in a very nice streamlined kind of a way. Okay, so I have a list here. I made a list of the problems that we encounter when we're dealing with templates in an internal space and also in an external way. Okay, so the internal struggles that we encounter. Number one, we need all templates for an entire department to be all in one place. Do not store your templates on your personal laptop. Don't just use the stash from your previous company. For my example, it would be law firms. I've seen lawyers, they like to hoard their templates and they say, these are my templates. It's my personal property. No, it isn't. If it's being used in a department, you need to make it accessible. Okay. And that goes into this part 2. Level the playing field so the whole department can access the templates. Number 3, I'm in a team like intellectual property that needs to review all templates for IP wording. We need to be able to see all the templates. Okay. If you cannot see all the templates, this kind of an activity would be near impossible. Okay. Number 4, a salesperson just asked me for a new type of contract. I need a new template that I've never seen before. Do I email my 3 friends in a department of 400? Okay. So you can see how this causes problems. Which 3 friends are you going to email? Maybe they have templates that nobody else has seen. All three of their templates are going to be different, right? And that goes into number 5. Why are there 400 NDA templates? If you don't have a system where everybody can see everything, everybody's going to have their own version. You need to be able to have a standard template. Okay. Number 6, which template is the most up-to-date official one? Okay. So you might also have like a tree of folders that you have that you have created somewhere, like a network drive for your department, and you tell everybody like, hey, we're all just going to stash our templates here. There's no rules about who puts what and where. Nobody has like ownership over specific files, so everybody has edit abilities. So this is like the wild, wild west. When this happens, it's chaos. And I would suggest that you develop further than this. Okay. I'm going to show you a way that makes it so that everybody has read-only access, and only the owners or the team that should have ownership has editing rights of their specific templates. Okay. So yeah, and another point here is I need to amend an old contract and all I have is a PDF. Where can I find the Word version of this old template? Okay, so you need to take in mind that maybe we need to have the old versions of the templates on here as well. So make a way that people can differentiate between the new up-to-date version and then the previous versions as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I built this. I built it in Outlook. And for those of you who are on audio only, imagine I'm opening Outlook. I have an email open and I have a button at the top of Outlook. It says contract templates. And when I click that button, a panel slides in from the right, and it shows a tree of folders at the top. I've got my areas of law, my divisions, and regions. So this is split up according to the teams that I have in my legal department. I have legal teams that are over areas of law, and I'll open this folder, like e-discovery, regulatory, litigation. Each of them needs to have their own distinct folder. And how would they organize the templates under here? Well, I would say do it in a way that makes sense to you, because every team is going to be different. There is no one way that everybody needs to organize their templates. I would say do it in a simple way that makes sense, and try to make it in a way that somebody who is not on your team at all can come to your folder and they can still make sense of things. So I would say like have your newest up-to-date folder, up-to-date templates, like obviously at like the root folder. And then I would have an extra folder at each level that says old. And that's where I would put the old versions of the templates. Okay. I would also recommend that you put some kind of another Word document, maybe like README or call it overview. And so if people do want to come and like do things with your templates, maybe you want to give them some context. Maybe you want to tell them, reach out to me before you use this template. Because yeah, other teams will want to use your template, but maybe there's some special things they need to know about, right? So over communicate, put it all right here so everybody can view it. Would I put things like playbooks in here? No, and that's because I would separate that into a separate playbook kind of a platform, which I will show in a later episode, by the way, foreshadowing. Okay, so I'm going to go back up. I also have divisions, and I am in a division in this example. So I'm going to go into the divisions folder. I've got diagnostics, imaging, renewables, and services. I'm going to click on diagnostics. And now I have two templates. I have a service agreement and I have a master services agreement. And when I click on one of these, what it does is it downloads a copy to my local hard drive. So this is read only, and then it downloads a local copy, which is then editable on my local laptop. So there's no way that I am making direct changes that are going to stick in the permanent template. Okay, so you can see within 2 clicks, within like 3 seconds, I have a template downloaded and open in Word on my laptop. This is so helpful if you can see everybody's templates across your department. You have them all in one place. And this button, by the way, in Outlook, I would only make it available to the members of my department. I would say put everything under the sun in here. So it's very useful for everybody to see. I'm going to click out of this Word document, but there are other features inside of this Outlook panel. We have a button near the bottom. It says View in SharePoint. And if I click on that, it's going to open up, it's the same view as what's in my side panel, only now it's in my web browser, taking up the entire screen. So you see we have the same the same files, but you can put the interface wherever you want it. Keep it in a web page, put it directly in Outlook where the people are working. I would suggest that they're going to want to work in Outlook though, because that's where we start all of our work. Everything is triggered by an email. So I want to stay in Outlook right next to my email, right? Okay, so I'm going to close this. I've got some other buttons here. There's a button in the pane. It says View All Templates. So this is for, imagine you don't want to go clicking around the entire folder tree. Maybe you have like hundreds of folders and thousands of templates like I did in a previous company. Okay, I'm going to click on View All Templates. It opens the page. It's a SharePoint page in a browser, and it shows all of the folders open, and it shows all of the files. So I only have 3 files, yeah, for my demo, but you can imagine you could have thousands of files in hundreds of folders. And the same thing applies here. If you click on one of the files, it downloads a copy to the local hard drive, and I have it set. It opens in Word immediately. Okay. The next thing, I do have a button that says Learn More. And what it actually opens is at my root level, I have a document called overview.docx. If I click on that, it downloads a copy to my local hard drive. But this gives an overview of this entire platform for anybody who wants to know anything. Okay. So put your training in here as well. Make the training really nice. Answer all of their questions. I would, yeah, you talk about restricting access, benefits, which templates do we put in here? I would assign a template manager in every one of my department teams. Somebody has to be assigned as a template manager, and then they are given ownership rights in SharePoint over their folder, and then they can determine the different rights of people that are under their folder, the children folders, okay? There's instructions here how to install this add-in in Outlook. It's quite simple. You just need to have a URL, and it adds a button into there. Okay, that's all I want to show for now here. Come back to Outlook. Okay, I also have a button here. It says Access and Edits. So what if a person actually wanted to edit the template, not just open a local copy? Well, they would click on this Access and Edits, and it opens up the interface in SharePoint that we're all used to seeing. Okay, so these are my 3 folders: areas of law, divisions, and regions. I've got a document called overview.docx. If I go into divisions, I gotta go into diagnostics, and if I click on one of these templates, like service agreement.docx, it actually opens it in Word, and here I am actually editing the actual document. This isn't just a copy, okay? So you see how we have split our intentions. By default, everything is read only, and then you click and you get an editable copy on your local machine. If you have the intention to actually edit, then you can easily do that, but you have to come, and there's an extra step to actually go into SharePoint mode. Okay, this is very important, and it helps extremely. It gets rid of the wild west, right? Okay, and the last thing in my Outlook add-in, I have a button that just says email feedback, and if a person clicks on this, it opens an email addressed to me, Justin, and people can give their feedback about this tool. Okay, there are some extra things that we could easily add to this. Outlook doesn't allow for right-clicking, but to the right of every document, I could put these 3 dots that you can click on, and it would take the user to an additional screen of like metadata. and they can categorize the template. Like maybe the template is an NDA, and maybe every legal team has its own NDA, and we want to start categorizing, and we want to know, like, how many NDAs do we have on here? There are thousands of files. So you would allow your users to categorize and call them NDAs. And then in the background, we could create like a Power BI or something, some kind of a report that tells us, so that the team that is going to align these templates and get them down, they've got some really good data. But I would say the very first thing is to get all of your templates onto here, right? And then the next step is you want to start getting that number down. Okay. So this is helpful. We could extend this tool to make it easier to do that. And you can categorize by like contract type, maybe language. Maybe you have different languages you're working with, like this one's English, this one's French, and you need to identify. Okay. So that is all for this part. We only have like 5 minutes, according to the plan. But the next part is, how do I get this to my business users? I don't want my business users installing a button, and I don't want them to have access to every single template. So what we do is we reflect a single folder to SharePoint. Okay, so you remember my divisions, diagnostics, we have these two documents. I want to show these two documents on a SharePoint page. And so I'm going to go to my SharePoint. Oh, it is here. Okay. Um, okay, so I go to my SharePoint, which is automateofficework.sharepoint.com/sites/legal. All right, and I have a directory of all the legal teams. So if we click on diagnostics, you see a very nice team page that is loading. And for those on audio only, it is incredibly beautiful. It has a picture of me, and underneath that, we have a page. It says templates. So our business users can come here and click on the templates to go to the templates page. And it opens up. There are some chasing dots, and then it fills in. There's a box, and it shows these two templates. They have Word icons that we can click on, and the user has the same experience. It downloads a copy to their local computer, and it opens it in Word immediately. They can also see the date when the files were last modified, and when they click on the name of the file, it goes to a dedicated page all about that file. We also have below the box, there are some trainings. So we had a PowerPoint that was given a few years ago, and anybody can click on this and open up the training. And so they don't have to ask questions. They've got the training right there where they need it. I'm going to click on Master Service Agreement and view its page. Okay. And okay, so it says master service agreement at the top, and then it has two paragraphs just telling who uses this template and when. Below that, we've got a link to a playbook, which I will show in a future episode. Below that is a link to download the template again. Below that is kind of Wikipedia style. It's got a see also section where it goes to other templates that are similar to this, that are associated kind of. And below that, we've got the trainings again. On the right side is a thumbnail of the first page of the template, if that is useful to people, you know. And in the top right corner, since I am a member of the team that owns this template, I can edit this page by clicking on the pencil, and every one of these pieces of content is editable. I can add more trainings, I can add more links, I can change the playbook URL, I can maybe turn off that thumbnail if I don't want it to be seen. Okay, so make it very, very easy for your people, give them a beautiful experience. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I did have some struggles for the external people as well. Let's go over those, see if I missed anything. External people have similar struggles. How do we get access to the templates from legal? You know, that's a valid struggle that people have outside the department. Do we just wait for someone to email us every few months? When I need a template, Do I just go around to my friends to check their emails? What if a person joined the company after you sent your last email? Template distribution is a problem all of its own, and you need to just solve that problem. This solves it. This solves distribution. Okay. When I need a temp, or do I just use another contract that is lying around and tweak it? I have seen this too often. They ask legal to review a contract, and the first question is, where did this template come from? It's from like 5 years ago. And then they say, oh, well, it was just laying around, so we just tweaked a different template. It's like, no, we want you to go use the most up-to-date template. Okay, so make it easy for your people. And the last one is, where can I find training about templates? Was it a PowerPoint given a year ago? So that's where you put the PowerPoint there. Also, we're going to be doing a lot of our training inside of playbooks, because a lot of the questions are going to be, what does this mean in this legalese language? What are the allowed changes? How do I get things changed? Not everything is a legal issue. Maybe you have to go to another department like finance. So we spell that out in the playbooks, which I will go over at a later time. Okay. I think next time we might go over, there might be some more mechanics that we need to go over. Like I said near the beginning, there are 5 steps that we need to go through. And now that we've seen how to structure your template, and now I've shown where to structure your template, or where to place it, now we can go through the mechanics of, like, how do we gather everything under the sun? And then how do we categorize things? How do we start comparing different templates? And how do we align them into like fewer and fewer templates? And then in the future, how do we stop people from drifting away again? Because we started out with this mess because everybody was just doing whatever. How do we prevent people from just doing whatever again? Let's see. I'm going to see if I've got some comments here. Okay, no comments yet. Okay, I'm gonna put in the link. If anybody wants to come live and have a discussion with me, we can be on for, let's say, another 7 minutes. Okay, just a minute. Okay, I'm putting the link in LinkedIn. If anyone wants to come on and chat. Uh, It says my comment contains language that has been reported in the past. I wonder if my link has like some kind of a characters. It thinks it's a swear word or something. Okay, it's failing to post the comment. Is there anyone that would like to come on? Can you leave a comment in the chat? Okay, doesn't seem like we're getting anybody. All right, so let me think. Are there any other issues? Oh, I can show you some a little bit of the code, how we got the templates into the SharePoint. Okay, so it's really, really easy. So let's go back to the diagnostics page. Okay, go to the templates page. Okay, maybe I'll show it in the Word document. Okay, so I did it here. There's a specific section in our overview document teaching the teams. The question here is how to display a specific folder of templates on a Teams SharePoint page. It says the below code in a SharePoint Modern Script Editor web part will produce the below screenshot. You will have to indicate the path of your folder, and then next you have to give a unique ID to the HTML div that you will be populating, both indicated in the yellow part. Okay, so we just have a few lines of JavaScript and one line of HTML that are used. We're importing the jQuery library. Then we are importing templates mirror.js. Oh, I guess I created that. So it just packages all of the different code. We're going to get it. And then we have these variables like which folder do you want and what are you going to name your window. And then we have that. We have an HTML element with the name of that. And we put some chasing dots inside of it for the user so that they see something while it's loading. And then it populates, it goes and gets the documents from that specific folder and it shows them. It also checks to see if the visitor is a member of the team that owns the document, they have edit rights. If they do have edit rights, it also puts a little gear in the top right. If I come here, if I click on this gear, I think it opens, yeah, it opens it in SharePoint. So then the team can come, this is the SharePoint interface where the team will have direct access to the files. And this is where they do edits to the actual files themselves. Okay. Anytime they make a change, the modified date is updated and the user sees that new date on the SharePoint page as well. So they always know that they have the updated version. Okay, so this is, maybe I can leave this as the last point. You need to work in such a way that we have one version of every file that is the one true file. It's our source of truth. Okay, then you reflect those files to the different interfaces and you give people different access rights that you want them to have. This is incredibly important for automation. You do not want to have duplicate files that are everywhere. You don't want to have like 20 different versions of a file, and then every time you go and change one, you don't want to have to go update all the other 19. Okay, so work smarter, not harder. Feel free to reach out to me. I am available on LinkedIn. It's my URL is linkedin.com/in/Justin Turman. It's JUSTIN TURMAN. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. You can also find me on my website, automateofficework.com. I've got a button there for book a call. I do offer 30-minute free consultations. If you would like additional time, I do have under my services, I have consulting services. I also offer solutions. My solutions are highly customized as well as modules. So these kinds of things like a template library, I am packaging them as modules that I will be selling on the SharePoint store. And yeah, if you need highly customized things, like your workflow is so complex and you need an entire platform, if you can dream it, we can build it. And my last section for services is education. I am available as a speaker. I can come meet with your team either online or in person. We can do workshops. We can help you because at the end of the day, it's the people that matter in your team as well, right? You can have the most perfect technology solution. If the people don't come along with you, it is a failure, okay? And maybe I should also show under my education section, I do offer free resources. I have a website that I've created, legaltechready.com. Don't let the name fool you. It is to help everybody get ready for tech. Um, We need to be better consumers of technology, and my website does exactly that. It has every single thing that you need to do to increase your chances of success for implementing technology. I've got 10 chapters of all the different phases you need to do. The very beginning, you need to assess your own needs. You need to map out your processes. And you need to create goals. You do not go straight to the tool. Do not go straight to the shiny thing. You start with the problem that you want to solve. Then it becomes absolutely clear what we need to do to solve the problem, right? We don't need to just buy a hammer. We need to solve your problem. Okay? A hammer might not be the solution to your problem. Even though it's nice and shiny, you might need something else. Okay? So please feel free to check out that resource. And I guess until next time, come and join me again next Friday. Connect with me. I am happy to give out content and just to help everybody do better. All right. Have a great week, everybody, and happy automating.